How's it going today, ladies and gentlemen? It is that one guy back at it again with another great story, another great time of us getting together and going over the new world we're discovering together, Platinum Star City. For those of you that missed the last Zero session, it is on our YouTube channel, so you can feel free to go back and look at it. These Zero sessions are introducing the players, the characters, and the world that is. I am your lovely DM, that one guy, or as everyone will probably call me, Josh. My name's not a secret. But in the meantime, I'm excited for this final introductions to the last two known characters, and then we will be able to get into the Zero sessions, the session ones of everyone coming together. If you did miss the last one, we're going to be going over the opening of the Platinum Star City. Josh is a very common name, yeah. But I'm glad. It makes me... This is going to be exciting. And a lot of people in this call that are part of the characters, some of them have played this game before, some of them have not. It is a learning process, so questions will be had, explanations will be made. But fun will be also enjoyed, is the main key of this. We're doing this for the fun of it, so... We're going to be a little relaxed, homebrew rules and everything and how things are going. Speaking of homebrew rules, let me go ahead and introduce to you guys my patch of homebrew rules because we are going off of the 5e format. However, I made rules that are make it easier for my players. First and foremost, if you hit a critical hit against the creature, so you roll that natural 20 that we all love to hear playing this game, you will be dealing max damage. So whatever your max damage is, you'll do that much damage and then roll on top of that. And basically, the epicosity of rolling natural 20s will be shown, evident, and great. The next homebrew rule is that if an opponent is prone, all damage hit on them will be counting as critical damage because you can't really defend yourself when you're laying on the floor that well. Unless you're a jiu-jitsu fighter, but we'll get into that later. Flanking of creatures. So if the party members surround someone, they'll have advantage on their attack throws, just like the flanking ability does. And basically it'll give them an opportunity to have a better chance of hitting their opponent. Money system is going to be different than natural 5e. For me, coppers are basically pennies, silvers are dollars. We can use Electrum for the rare $10 bill, but that might... We'll keep that hovering in the background. Golds are the $100 bills, and platinum coins are the fabled myth $1,000 bill. For the first 3 levels, my characters will be gaining their max HP, so that way they're not all just squishies. For the wizards and whatnot, they'll have a chance of being able to take a few hits. After the 3rd level, they will roll their hit point dice, and then I will roll my hit point dice, and they'll choose either to keep theirs or keep mine. If we roll ones, we're gonna re-roll them. I don't want to have to. I don't like ones. And last but not least, the players' charisma checks. I'm going to be keeping an eye on my players' charisma alignments. So if they are chaotic good, they'll have better chances and lower DCs talking to chaotic good characters, or any of their categories of chaotic and or good. Then there's the lawful, there's the evil, but who knows how it goes on from there. It's basically the Riz for their characteristics. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get into this world. I would like to welcome you all to the Platinum Star City, where the night belongs to you. This modern world fantasy style environment is filled with swords, shields, magic, and modern technology, all mixed perfectly together. The PSC is what I've been shortening it to because that's Platinum Star City's been getting to me a little. The PSC, for all those who join the audience, is going to be a city where our heroes and adventurers can choose to be great someones. Or if they wish to, they can blend into the shadows and be no one. Either if your dreams is to be a shining star or the darkest shadow, it'll be up for our characters to decide. But there are different things to do here. There are universities to study, worlds beyond the one we live in, adventure guilds to join, to work to gain money, or to have fame on your back, on your shoulders. Stores to buy and houses to call home. This city is built in honor of the Platinum Dragon family, for the protection and safe haven from the monsters beyond the walls. For beyond the city walls, to the west, is a forest of fog and woods and trees, where beasts and creatures prey and stalk the covering of the greenery and treetops. To the east is the ocean blue, where fishermen go far out to collect the great necessities of giant salmon, some crabs, and all the delectables to bring in. But they do not venture past the fog, where unknown creatures lay beyond. To the north, it has been rumored to be an icy tundra filled with frost giants and ice wolves, a land of mythical whites. And to the south, a desert plain where the heat is only met with the dangers of wyvern and giant scorpions. All these dangerous places, all beyond the fog and the walls, the Platinum Star City. This Platinum Star City is the place where our adventurers have been able to call home. Looking above this immaculate city, walls that call a high rise of tower. Many buildings, skyscrapers of elven and dwarven kind, their glasses bristling off of the afternoon lights high into the sky. We slowly zoom in into the cityscape where, on this nice summer day, groups of citizens are shopping, traversing between different food runs and malls, these immaculate buildings of great stone structures, wooden. And as we move in closer, there is a small but very decorative florist shop, covered in a very precise floral vine overhang arch, with a small flower garden on the roof of the establishment. It has its own water source that is misting through the sky, creating a small rainbow. And as we come in through the front door, from the customer's point of view, inside it is a colorful view of many multiple flowers shining in the background. These flowers are eminence, radiance, and they traverse off of one other key factor. They are not from this world. For most of these flowers resemble that of the old Fey ancestry of our lovely owner. Umbra, would you like to describe your character?
Oh, so my character is Una. She is an Eladrin druid. She uses druidcraft a lot to make the flowers. They're all her favorite flowers. Well, most of them are her favorite flowers from the Feywild, but she's kind of a nerd for plants, so technically all plants are her favorite. But she's had the shop in the city for about 90 years. She's lived in the city for about 100 years, and then about 10 years into her living there, she opened up her flower shop. And she keeps it by the school so that at the graduation ceremonies, the families come in to buy the flowers, or if there's like holidays that people want flowers for, she usually gets a pretty steady stream of customers. So her shop's done pretty well.
And in this northern section, right across from the school area, where these malls have been made to not only help the university students get easy access to food and beautiful flora, such as your own shop, the customer that walks in, you see this male human who looks a little nervous, roughly around 25 years of age, and you see him looking at different flowers, a weird expression on his face of just not really knowing what he wants to buy.
Hey, can I help you with anything?
Hi. Yeah. I'm here. You see, there's my girlfriend, and well, it's our anniversary, and I wanted to get her something special. Uh, she is she's very special to me, and I wanted to get something special for her. But I feel like the natural rose flowers are a little natural, and I wanted to get something special. So I thought your shop was recommended for its beautiful fluorescent colors of the Feywild, and I thought that'd be cool. But then again, I have no idea what these flowers represent or the meaning of them. But there's a lot of good. I like to buy a bouquet.
I can do for you. Is there any particular meaning for the bouquet that you want?
Yes. Well, it is our 3 year anniversary, and I wanted to get flowers to let her know that my love is just as bright as when I first laid eyes on her. On top of that, I need something that also let her know that no matter the seasons, I will be strong and faithful. And just something that will represent her favorite color. She enjoys the nice Marcius blue.
I can do. And so she'll gather up a bouquet that means something like everlasting bright love, and she'll make sure that it's wrapped in a little blue ribbon.
As you are creating this immaculate bouquet, as it's wrapping in, the door from behind opens. The back door is the only one who has the key to it. Is the current love of your life. As you hear the call coming from the back. Luna, where's the drinks at? I had a long day.
An alcohol kind of long day?
We'll keep it calm for now. I might have to go back out.
They should be in the left cupboard.
Thank you. As you hear
You're
the
welcome.
rummaging in the background, the popping of a possible wine bottle. Definitely nothing too heavy. You finish the bouquet as the individual steps forward. Ah, thank you. How much would the bouquet cost?
That would be 30 silver.
Right. Okay. You see him rummage through his pockets, pull out a coin pouch, and he rumbles inside. Here. 30 silver, and oh, here's an extra 5 for helping me out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Looks great. She's gonna love these.
I'm glad to hear it.
Well, when she starts her track on the university area, she's a scholar, or trying to be a scholar. I'll definitely come back to see if I can get these. I think I hear like you do graduation flowers and bouquets and stuff like that as well.
I do all kinds of bouquets all year round.
Right. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much.
Of course.
You see him stumble his way out, getting to the door, and then almost like if he's expecting her to be outside, he pauses to fix his hair until he steps out into the crowd of other citizens walking around, shopgoers, as the door closes behind the small chime of the bell hanging off of the ornate vine wreath that you have set up. As your girlfriend Elion comes through the door. Was that a good sale?
Long day? Oh, it was a great sale.
Nice.
Long day?
Yeah, I've had a new task. There's rumors around that some annoying nobles are kind of messing into the magical aspects of certain fey elements. No one has come to bother you, have they?
So good. I'll let you know if I hear anything, though.
Appreciate it. She goes over, hugs you on the side and kisses you on the cheek.
I'll hug her back.
Alright, it's official. I quit. I'm staying here.
I keep telling you, if you want to be a housewife, you can be a housewife.
Oh, as much as I would love to fawn over you, I gotta keep my body limber. And this idea of constantly making gold coins to rat out on these nobles is too easy to pass up. Well, here's to the future, though. When I have
Yeah.
enough to finally call myself an A rank adventurer, or if it serves me an S rank, I will hold on to the C rank with the dignity I have and move up. But on the meantime, have any plans for dinner?
Think some.
Nice, nice. If you need me to pick up anything, let me know. I'm just here for a quick break before I head out for some more digging on this alleged elven individual.
Okay. If you could pick up the good noodles on your way back, please.
Can do.
Thank you, thank you.
As she gives you one last hug, kiss goodbye, picking up some coin to head out for shopping, the back door closes. The calmness of the background, flowers. Before the music. A tune you are accustomed to.
When I hear it, I'll put like a little sign on my counter that says back in just a moment, and then I'll head back to my office.
As you open the door to your office, the desk is there with the paperwork of past receipts, along with some future taxes that will be easily paid off. The shop is very flourishing. The one small window zooming out to the back entrance area of the shop florist. And as no one is in there, and as you turn to close the door, you turn back and staring out the window, playing with a golden coin through his fingers. A tall 6'7" individual cloaked in a dark hood. His long furred snout sticking past the view of his full face, as his long blackened fingers with darkened claws at the end continues flipping the coin. Then he catches the coin in his thumbs and turns, and you see this darkened, wolven beast folk. His mated yellow eyes looking towards you. Nothing new.
Hey, Xanagar.
He nods, saying anything.
To the wall, and then I'll like press a certain spot in it, which opens it up to reveal like a hidden cupboard filled with various vials and powders.
As you're there, he stands by the desk, giving you the space of doing the necessary magic of unleashing this cupboard before the first slow growl comes in.
I need the poison.
So the paralytic one or anything else?
See him ponder, his long claws against the end of his snout.
Paralytic for now.
And I'll gather it, his usual amount together.
As you grab the small satchel, enough to, in a long term, probably ruin a party. The paralytic effects non-lethal, but very effective thanks to your druidic magic. He sets down the 2 gold coins on the table as he approaches. How tall was your character?
She'll be about 6 feet tall.
As he only hovers about 7 inches above, he's still looking down. The look on his face to anyone would be menacing. But this customer has been coming to you for more than 10 years now, and you realize that what seems menacing is simply just a caution from his line of work. There is no hostility towards you or your establishment. In fact, he has come to rely on your ingredients.
I heard the conversation earlier.
About the people messing with the Fey magic? You have anything? You have any information about it?
Some.
Ooh.
There was an incident earlier today.
Okay.
There is a
Around-
noble who
Pardon?
has crossed the line.
There was a what that crossed the line?
He mentions of a noble that has crossed a line.
Okay. A noble. One of our
That's-
nobles or a city noble?
A city noble.
Well, that's pretty usual.
Although it shouldn't be.
He
True.
reaches his hand open for you to put the pouch in.
I dropped the pouch in his hand.
As he takes it, he moves his cloak back as he puts his newly found poison in a small little satchel in the side. And next to it, you see the weapons of his choice. These 2 darkened sickles that blend in perfectly with his fur if it wasn't for the whitened loincloth for handles. As his cloak goes back over, hovering, you look at his face, and through the darkened fur, he has a silver lining that takes up the center eyes. But through that, now for the first time that you've gotten this close to him, transactions in the past were to leave him on the table. This trust that he gives, you look past the darkened hood. You see this X-like scar that goes from the top of his forehead past the eyes. Long, old, faded wound from a battle that you can only assume had to be his line of work.
If you hear anything else, go ahead.
This poison is for said noble.
Let me know if you need anything else for him. I'll put in a sample free of charge for the information.
You can tell your partner that noble's going to be dealt with by the darkness.
Information along. Thank you.
You see him turn and look towards the open window.
Una, know this. If those that wish to play in the darkness but not respect its dwellers, they become lost.
I'll keep that in mind.
give. And I say this out of kindness. Be careful who you give it to.
So keep that in mind.
As you turn and close the cabinets that you have hidden, make a perception check.
14.
With the 14, you hear the hum once again go through, and as you turn back to look, all you see is a darkened, shadowed patch on the floor with only 2 black tendrils before it fades, and the shadow becomes the normal of this room. Your customer
I'm assuming he's gone?
is gone.
Okay. I'll close up the cupboard and put the money away and then head back to my counter.
As you head back to the front counter, a few more customers approach inward. And as this one comes in, you see she has a slight, not too exhausted of a breath, but definitely one that was on the run. Not running from something, but has an urgent request. Let me pull up my description for her real quick.
Hey, what can I help you with?
As you look inside, you see a illustrious Aarakocra, a bird-like folk with a blue jay-like resemblance. The long black beak with bluish feathers, white mask. You know her as one of the denizens of the woods, a place you have been going to as a leisurely relaxation with your partner over at this tavern club-like environment where all fey creatures are not only invited with open arms but protected from those that wish to wrap their arms around their throats.
Yep, we go there every Friday.
You see this as the head singer. It's currently afternoon, so she's not performing, and you only can assume that she was free, and that's why she's here, but you know her as Raftalia. As you see, her arms are the wings themselves. So instead of the wings being on her back, her hands themselves are attached with many immaculate feathers. Arms going to the shoulders, smooth with the hardened needed to fly with no delay compared to their size. A really decently height of 5'6", but as you've heard her at the Friday nights songs, very immaculate voice, and you see her simply standing there with a somewhat exhausted expression, but at the same time, you see this slight annoyance of having to do this herself.
Oh, yeah, what can I help you with?
Hello.
This singing blue jay voice cuts through.
We need some medical herbs, please.
Anything in particular or just general healing?
Yeah, general healing works. We had 2 fairies come in recently. They were attacked by some lizard people or something. I didn't catch the whole details, so we just need something at the woods.
Fairies? When did they get here? Anyone I know?
I don't know. They came in with Theo, the owner of the establishment. He brought them in, and one of them seems recovering. The other one was like gravely injured. It was a whole thing.
Jeez, okay. Do you guys need my help over there or just like potions or something?
I mean, if it's not too busy, it'd probably be easier if you just showed up.
I can do that. What time is it?
It is currently close to 1 to 2 in the afternoon.
I'm shutting down for lunch. I'll be over there.
Okay. You want me to fly with or walk with you? Well, you walk, I fly. But you want me to go with you, or you gonna just be there later?
Let me give you a potion, and then I will head over there after you. It's going to take me a couple minutes to close up shop and leave a note.
Okay.
You see as she, like, even though she can walk, you see she flaps her wings to glide across your shop to the front desk, pulls out, let me get the accurate, price for a potion. Here. She will get a regular healing potion, which will be roughly yeah, 10 gold.
Okay.
As she sets it down before you, you hand her the potion from the back counter, and as she takes the potion in her other hands, you see she puts it in a small little it would be a what's it called, it's like a fanny pack, but it's like hanging around her neck to not obstruct her wings from flying. And as she puts it inside, you see this small little pouch, as this potion should not fit in, falls all the way through with no issues as she lets her beak drop it in, and she zips it up.
Thank you. Are you gonna be coming this Friday as well?
Of course.
I'll see you in the crowd.
All right, I'll see you there.
Bye-bye.
You see her go
Bye-bye. See you in a couple minutes.
flap through the door and opens it with her talons, turns over and closes the door behind you, and you hear the immediate flapping, and it almost rattles your windows of how fast she takes off. But you hear there are new fairies and the denizens of the woods who were recently attacked by some lizard things. Could be kobolds. Lizard folk aren't violent usually, at least not towards other denizens or civilians even.
I'm gonna close up shop and put a sign that says I'm closed for lunch. I'll be back in an hour or whatever, and I'm gonna leave a note for Elion too, saying that I'm hopping over to the woods, and also put in the note that if she gets back before I do, to head over to the woods, because I think I found some information.
Okay. As you leave the notes only where she can find it, make sure anything else doesn't happen, you go to the front door, lock up the shop, and put up the sign to let everyone know that you're out for lunch.
And I'm also bringing another potion with me.
Just in case.
Yep.
As we start to zoom out from Una locking up her florist shop and moving amongst the crowds of other shopkeepers and citizens going to buying whatever they need for their evening lunches and dinners, we move more to the topern eastern parts of our place, where we run into a somewhat elegant cathedral. This massive temple-like church has a very ornated glass front window above towards where a second-story housing would be. A bright symbol of the sun, immaculated and reflective off of the actual sun in the high sky, with a individual in the center holding what seems to be a ornated item used for healing and priesthood. This temple is a temple of Palor, the god of the sun and of healing. And as we zoom past this front temple to a back living space, past the grassy patch corner, we hear the sounds of many children running through this open plaza-like area Some are diligently working, dusting off the side roofs and cleaning out the summer grass that has overgrown. As this is all showing an immaculate view of how this church helps those that are without parents, or even those of urgent nature who need simple coin to get by. We go inside the temple, past the bleachers and benches, where we see a armored individual kneeling in front of a statue of Pelor himself. Ollie, would you like to introduce your character?
Yep. I'm playing Durant Goldweaver, a paladin for serving Pelor, the god of sun, the god of the sun and healing. My parents were also members of this temple and worked hard in their duties. And I've lived here my whole life, so and I'm currently a paladin for hire.
As you are kneeling there, the head priest, the one you know, who has been with you and your family since you've been here, Father Almar.
Okay.
As he comes forward, stepping aside you, he looks down and simply greets you with the nod, gives a small prayer.
Okay.
Do you know what your mission is now, Durant?
Yes, Father, I know what I must do.
That is good. The path of a warrior is never an easy one, but one that is necessary. Bring Pelor's teaching of healing, and warm those that have been lost to darkness.
I will.
As he gives you one last bow and goes behind to the back chapel-like area where most of the other priestess hang out. You make your way out through the front temple to the open city that your father once protected, alongside the royal lineage as the holy warrior of this place. Now that title has been passed down to you.
Oof.
You stroll amongst the open plaza of this temple as you see the orphanage children who work for not only a place to live, but a meal to eat. And as they are cleaning up and playing around, you see a few of them look over to you and simply wave.
I'll wave back.
You see the excitement of a few tabaxi-like children, these cheetah patch-like fur, cat feline natured kids, along with some other human children, laughing and then continuing on with whatever games they were playing. A few other children working in the background. You feel the open sunlight hit you, and you feel empowered by the deity you worship. And you feel a draw, a weird pull, calling. Not before long, you hear the metal clanks of marching soldiers. Or in the distance, you see a tall, big Leonin, a lion folk-like creature in ornated royal enforcer-like armor. You know this individual to be Captain Goldpaw, the head ruler of the enforcers and subservient ruler for the king. the eye patch that's over his left eye, but the immaculated mane he has is hard to miss. As you see, he is walking towards you, not with fury, but with urgency. As he approaches. Holy Warrior Durant.
Yes, Captain Goldpaw.
I am in need of your assistance. It seems that a few invited guests by the royal family has been misplaced.
That is troubling.
It is, because not only were they royal guests, but they were from the Fey realm as well.
That is increasingly troubling.
We needed someone with the ability to find Fey creatures. We know with the help of Paylor you have such abilities.
Yes, I can certainly try and locate them with the help of Paylor.
Good. I need you to join my party and we are going to be searching for them. Not for free, of course. We will pay you for your services.
Perfect.
From our understanding, the two fairies in speaking are that's of the Fairy Kingdom. One from the Kingdom of Orlander, the other from the Kingdom of Thornberry. Both a prince and princess.
This could be a diplomatic situation if this doesn't get resolved.
Indeed. On top of all that, we have our own guards searching the interior of the area for... We made precautions to make sure that teleportation to our world would be smooth. However, someone has tampered with it. We fear that they might have kidnapped two fairy royal family members.
That is very bad.
Indeed. Which is why the urgency of I have coming here myself.
Well, no time to waste then. Let's be off.
Yes. If we can, we're going to focus on Oleander, the princess. And if we can, hopefully, the two will be together.
That would be ideal.
Please, lead on. You are the one that is able to sense the Fae.
Yes. Okay.
As you move forward, he ushers you towards the southwestern part of the city. As you head towards the area, the citizens of shopping are moving along their days. The vehicles are going by, these hovering car-like vehicles, but instead of being solid metal, there's some wood features to them. Arcane ruins stretched across inside. And as they march you over, there is this ornated hovering like vehicle that has the insignia logo of the enforcers. A platinum dragon holding on to a scroll in one hand and a javelin-like spear in the other. And as they enter into the carriage, you get ushered in with Captain Goldpaw.
Okay.
As you drive on forward through the city, you look left and right, trying to figure out, as they are not driving fast, they are having these immaculated silver and gold light shine, which is having other people either pull off to the side for them or go around them as this vehicle is moving slowly through. I would like you to make a perception check for me, please.
Okay. Oh, it's so laggy. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, no.
It's a 1.
Oh, what a heck of a way to start.
Fuck me.
As you are looking around, trying to see, the crowd is not only heavy for this afternoon shopping spree, but now they are gathering, watching these enforcer cars drive by, and in doing so, it's hard to see past the crowd. As some of them are going by, they are waving frantically. They can't see inside. The dark tinted magic windows keep it where you can see outside as if it was clear, but the blackened windows from the outside keep people from knowing who's actually in them. However, that doesn't stop the more love for the enforcers to be shown, as people are waving, kids smiling, and basically fawning over these vehicles passing by. And as you drive past all this way, you make your way to the front gates that lead into the noble sector, the upper ring, so to speak. And as you pull up to the front, you see other soldiers and enforcers already gathered together, ready to march in different directions. Some already asking people on the side roads if they have seen anything new. And as Captain Goldpaw steps out, having his hand gesture for you to follow.
Okay, well, I will follow him.
As you get out the vehicle, you are greeted with a bunch of people, some first getting intimidated, but then you see the admiration of Captain Goldpaw and his full noble-like stature, a stoic face of seriousness with his eye patch that covers the left eye, the gold mane that flows through the wind. And you are stuck seeing this open area. As one other soldier comes forward to meet Captain Goldpaw, a young soldier himself into the enforcers, but still with courage, goes, "Sir Goldpaw, we just got word from Valindra. Apparently a noble was attacked by a couple of kobolds near the lower clock tower area." "I see. I guess we can make a detour real quick. Grant, are you able to follow?"
Yes, that'll be a good place to start.
Right. As you follow Captain Goldpaw, he goes into a fast walk-like march, tall and as dutiful as ever, holding on to his long sword on his side, the shield on his back. And as he is marching through the city, you see people make way for him coming through. You see, after about 10-minute walk through these alleyways and passage where people naturally go through to either head home or simply visit the towering districts of the area, you see in the distance where the enforcers have taped it off, keeping people at bay. As you approach slowly, I need you to make another perception check for me.
This is the one I'm gonna scream. Fuck. Why?
No.
6.
Well, you're getting the bad ones out of the way now. Let's just think of it as like that.
What do you mean? They're all gonna be bad ones. This is my curse.
As you move forward, you get past the taped off section as they move it aside to let you and Goldpaw in. As you enter in forward, next to this clock tower, you see different types of scorch marks and signs of a battle. And you see this two actually slain kobolds. However, the second one's a lot harder to recognize as it is currently charred to a crisp. As you look,
This is definitely the work of a mage.
indeed, that, or the worst case scenario, could be Hag. But for now, we have to figure out what we can find. Soldier, he points over to one who is looking at the scene. You see he's holding up these weird ornated single oculate glass as a I forgot what they're called. They're like the glasses.
Magnifying glass?
It's the one glass that old English people had. It just covers a monocle.
Oh, the monocle. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. As he's holding up the monocle, observing the body, he turns to you, and you see these weird runes shining and disappear from the monocle as he lets the chain hang around his neck. "Ah, yes, Captain Goldpaw. What we've been able to discover is that the other kobold here in Fresh area had died to a single stab wound chest. some ornate, like, piercing needle. Could either have been a spear or a rapier, one of the two. And as for the other one, well, he's been burnt to a crisp by some type of innate fire magic. However, I am having a hard time figuring out what origin it's from. Captain Goldpaw looks. I wonder. Warrior Durant.
We know it.
Do you think you can scan?
Yes. We'll look around. We'll scan for signs of Fey activity.
All right. As you activate your divine sense, you sit and you stand in the center of this area. Other people looking at you. None of them really know who you are just yet. As you sense you push your radiant energy blessed by you from Pelor. It almost feels as if the sun rays themselves are expanding from the pinpoint from you outward. If I remember correctly, your divine sense reaches up to 30 feet?
60. 60.
Nice. As you push outward, the first sense of magic you feel is the reminiscence of Fey magic from the corpse of this kobold. This magic not only resembles that of the Fey elements, but it was a cast of not only desperation, but necessity. Fey magic of immediate release of emotion lingers behind the intent behind the magic given. So whoever Fey creature did this either in defense or of urgency. As this sense reaches further past the 60 feet, you sense another feeling. A darker Fey feeling from inside the clock tower. About 50 feet from where you're standing.
There's someone in the clock tower.
Upon saying this, you see Goldpaw and other soldiers immediately, quietly as they can but efficiently, draw their swords as the outer enforcers start pushing away the crowd, keeping them from harm's way as the crowd starts to back up immensely. As Goldpaw begins to take the lead with you being the one who's able to sense this magic. How do you approach?
Can I see if the entrance to the tower has been disturbed at all?
As you make an investigation check, why don't you?
Sure. Everything is terrible. For
looking at this doorway, it seems you've never been to this side of the city, or at least not this close to the clock tower before. And it looks all put together. The doors are closed. It seems to be undisturbed.
Okay, let's try slowly opening the door and try and keep it quiet.
All right, go ahead and make me a stealth check. This will be a group stealth check between you, Captain Goldpaw, and his enforcers.
Okay, and I have disadvantage because I have heavy armor.
They all have disadvantage because of heavy armor.
Awesome. Well, at worst, I'm getting a 12.
All right.
Let's 1 second. Let me throw the second one just to see if it gets any worse. No, I'm getting a 12.
Okay.
Never mind. No, I'm not. I'm getting a fucking 3.
It went lower.
It fucking teased me. It was on 18 and then it moved to 2.
Oh man.
Fuck me.
As you push open the door, trying to be stealthy, you hear the clanking of soldiers' armor behind you, and as you're thinking to yourself, "This is not gonna go well," pushing the door forward, you just hear the immaculate of the door not being well kept for a while. The element of theft might not be on your side, but you don't know what's in here, if anything at all. Just the reminiscence of the dark Fey energy. And as you have the door open, Captain Goldpaw runs in with the enforcers. They take corners and sides of the centers, the lefts, and the rights. Are you rushing after them?
Yes.
As you go in, also taking a defensive position, what weapons do you have on you?
I have 3 weapons. I have a warhammer, um, a light hammer that can be thrown, and a hand crossbow.
All right.
I'm just gonna use the warhammer for now.
As you hold out your warhammer, coming inside, you look around. You see stairs that lead upward to the upper parts of the tower, and this open area with no signs of an individual. However, with your divine sense still kicking, it brings you to the center, close to where Captain Goldpaw is standing. As you approach it, it would be difficult to spot if it wasn't for your divine sense. But you see the reminiscence fading energy of a teleportation circle.
Oh, interesting. Okay. There's a teleportation circle here.
As Captain Goldpaw turns around, there's no real indication in the ground. It's been almost perfectly wiped clean. As he's having a hard time finding it, you approach. What languages do you speak?
Common, Dwarvish, Giant, and Infernal.
As you approach the area, you see the leftover sigils of some type of scribbling into the ground, but are unable to identify what they actually are. Give me a sec while I check out our lovely Captain Goldpaw to see what languages he speaks real quick. Oh, no, it's not. It is. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's on top, bottom left. That's right. Yeah, as he looks at it, he seems also unable to figure out what language this actually is.
I'm gonna shout out, does anyone happen to know Fae?
You see the one with the monocle come up. I am able to identify multiple languages. 1 second. He approaches from the back. You see that his weapon is more of the common folk. He has a small short sword and just simple leather armor. He might be more of a investigator for the enforcers more than an actual fighter itself. He walks up and he pulls out the monocle once again, putting it up to his eye, and you see him mumble under his breath some type of incantation before the monocle starts to glow, and he looks. Oh my, yes, that would have been hard to find. It is definitely Sylvan.
That's interesting.
Not
so. Our Fae friends were not the cause of this.
No, they were not. However, whoever did this is of an old and Sylvan nature. Are you able to identify what type of Fey energy is radiating off of this?
You said it was a darker type of Fey energy, right?
Yeah, you feel a darker type of Fey magic.
This is more evil than most Fey magic.
And upon saying this, you see him pull the monocle back and take like a 2-step back. Oh. Well, then this is hag magic. Amongst hearing this, you see the tension of all the soldiers looking around frantically.
Unfortunately, they seem to be long gone.
Captain Goldpaw speaks up. Indeed. However, this does not bode well.
No.
Worst case scenario, well, rather best case scenario, someone simply got their hands on some darkened Fey magic. Made a deal with a hag for this. Whatever they tried to plan. Then there's worst case scenario. The hag themselves.
So that could be a problem.
Indeed. Soldiers, move in pairs of 3. Scout the tower to see if you can find anything else. Investigator, report anything that you find immediately over to Valindra. Right away, sir. DM, get back to hovering as you both are leaving the clock tower. The signs of the struggle, and considering how you mentioned before that it was normal Fey magic, we can assume that this is the Ground Zero incident.
Yes, there was another party involved here. Someone escaped. That was not our Fey friends.
Right. But right now we need to focus on finding the said friends. If you can you follow a trace, any type of other magics in the area? Your divine sense lets you check Fey, Fiend, and Undead, correct?
Actually, no, it doesn't. It only does Celestial, Fiend, and Undead.
Celestial, Fiend, and Undead. Okay. For story-wise, we'll let it run with the help of Paylor.
Sure.
As you are around here circling, searching, the crowd's more dispersed now, giving you guys space of the imminent danger that could have been. Go ahead and make me one more perception check.
Please, God. Okay, that's acceptable. 18.
As you're searching through the open area, looking through the crowd, in essence, through the back alleyway, you see 2 small creatures searching, looking past the small trash cans and boxes in the back, looking your way at the incident that had taken place. They seem to be sticking to the shadows, but you are able to just catch them.
1 second, I'm gonna sneeze.
Go for it.
Or not, because I fucking said it.
Jinx.
I'd like to try and follow them to see where they were heading.
They seem to be staring right at the scene of the crime, where you and the other enforcers are at.
Wasn't there a perimeter on the?
They are about 70 to 80 feet out through an alleyway across the street, just searching inward from behind a couple of crates. Not hiding very well at all, really.
Sure. I'm gonna come up to them and I would like to say hello. Did you happen to see what happened here?
As you move forward, you get about 40 feet until you reach the crowd, and as you get to the crowd, you announce this out to them. And as Captain Goldpaw sees you and sees in the directions, his eyes narrow as he looks over. Those are kobolds. As they see you calling out to them, you see them both look at each other and then run down the alleyway away. What do you do?
I'd like to attempt to chase after them.
As you put your back heel into it, you go into a full sprint after these 2 that are running. Captain Goldpaw is right behind you, ordering the other enforcers to keep an eye on the area to make sure no one tampers with evidence. You and Goldpaw go into a full-on sprint chasing down these individual creatures. This is where it's going to be interesting. We're going to make some athletic checks. This is if you can keep up with them, or if they mess up and lose traction, or if they're able to run ever so faster than you can. So I'm going to roll for Captain Goldpaw and these creatures. You go ahead and roll for yourself. So the first chase through these alleyways. So go ahead and roll.
$14.
As you are running through the alleyways, getting to them, you turn the corner that they go down. As you turn, you see they are moving in all fours, crawling and climbing against the walls, and they are moving fast. with their natural movement speed being just ever so nimble, they're starting to lose you before you hear the clattering of claws and footprints as you turn around and see that with the sword away, Captain Goldpaw is on a 4-pod sprint, running like a lion through the jungle, but bouncing off of the walls of the alleyway as he not only catches up, but slightly passes you. We're gonna go for a second roll.
$22.
Nice. As you then turn the second corner, you see the open street plaza as the two kobolds try to run through. Captain Goldpaw has stopped into the 4-pod sprint to make sure he doesn't charge through the crowd and knock people over. As he's telling people to clear away, it's slowing them down, but it seems the kobolds are all also being body blocked by other civilians that they're trying to run through. You, however, see a nice path through a couple of crates and carriages that are lined up perfectly. You run, sprint off of the crate, jump off of the hood of the car, and are able to gain a good distance on them. You are almost at them. Let's go for the third roll.
Should be 17? 17.
As you land and get next to the creatures, you see one of the kobolds grabs a child of the vehicle, or child, and chucks it in front of the vehicle that's coming down the road. As this happens, Captain Goldpaw sees this, and he will jump and quickly grab the child, turn his back, and unfortunately, with the natural 1, the car will strike him.
Oof. Okay.
As you see him get hit by the car, his feet brace, and as the car lifts ever so slightly, Captain Goldpaw, still on his knees, not hitting the floor just yet, with the shield on his back, is able to take the hit, stop the vehicle, but also save the child. As he turns to you, "I got her! Keep chasing them!"
I will do as he says, because he seems fine.
You run past him. As you go through the crowd, you see they make their way into another small crack in the area as you are there. This is going to be one more roll, and this is just between you and them. Captain Goldpaw with that natural 1 is out of the race.
Sure. Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, 11.
As you run over, you see the two kobolds run towards what seems to be like a dead end. And you see as they turn the corner, they are patting the wall, searching for something. Unfortunately for their natural 2, which only makes up for a 5, it slows them down just enough where you are within range to combat them. I need you to go ahead and roll for initiative.
Yep. That'll be 19.
19, alrighty. Let me grab my pen. Go. Alright, with the 19, you are definitely going first.
Okay, I would like to unarmed strike them because I do not want them to die.
Got it. You walk up to one of them that's like putting their hands against the wall, like, "Where is it? Where is it?" And they go up and you just clench your fist. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Uh, 17.
17 will hit. What's your unarmed strike damage?
It's 5.
You just go up, clench your fist, and as you slam your fist against his gut, pushing him against the wall, you see him hit the wall and clutch to his knees. He is gasping for breath as you knock the air out of him, but is still conscious, but heavily hurt. You want a bonus action swing again?
Can I swing at the other one?
Absolutely, yeah.
go. Yeah, I'll swing at the other one.
Make an attack roll as the other one looks at his partner that just hit the floor, looks at you, he's like, "Oh, no, wait!"
I think that's 14.
14 will hit.
Yeah, that's 14.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Another
Roll for damage.
5.
Oh yeah, it's 5. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
Yep,
I don't
it's
have
just 5
damage
base.
rolls.
Yep. You go over and you just crack the other one across the face. You see a tooth fly out as he hits the floor. He's still on his feet, but like his mouth is bleeding and he is hurt. Both of them are like barely standing. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, because I've already used my actions.
You see as the one that you punched on the floor stands to his feet as the other one tries to run. He's gonna leave your he's gonna bonus action disengage.
Okay.
And you see he's gonna dash on the far left wall. Still entrapped in this square-like area as you are taking up most of this small little pocket in the alleyway. And as you see him duck to the right, the goblin on his knees pulls a small dagger and is gonna try and make a strike at you.
Go for it.
That is a 21 to hit.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, that hits.
That'll be 3 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
As you see him pull out a small dagger and slash across, making a small cut to your side. Yeah. Second strike. That is a 22 to hit.
Christ, what is with these guys?
They got a 17 and
hits.
18, so yeah. That is a 5 more points of slashing damage as he comes back down and slashes against your leg. The other goblin grabs a stone pebble on the floor and is going to chuck it at you. That's an 11.
That does not hit.
All right. As the rock misses, he already uses his bonus action to disengage. So you see after he threw the rock, he's now just pushing his back against the wall, scared. It'll be your go now.
One of them is running away, right? Or
Yeah.
is he like still cornered? Or
He's
is
still
he...
cornered. He's 10 feet from you, but he's against the wall, and your body is close enough where you can charge him past down the alleyway, so he knows that's not a viable exit. The other one is 5 feet from you on his knees, slashing at you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll unarmed strike the one with the dagger in front of me.
All right, you clench your fist and you just hammer it down. Go and make a strike.
25.
That will most definitely hit. Make an attack roll.
That's 5. That's 5 damage.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Yeah, you just clench your fist after this one slashes you. You look down with like a sense of justice, rage in your eyes, and you see the kobold immediately break on a cold sweat as your fist comes down, clacks his face against the wall as the dagger falls to the floor, and he falls flat on his face unconscious.
Perfect. And I'm just gonna say, stay down.
As you turn to the other one, you still have one more attack, and the other goblin's only 10 feet from you. Do you knock him out as well?
Yeah, I'd like to go and knock him out as well with the unarmed strike.
Make an attack roll.
Much that's wait a second. You're a fucking tease, D&D Beyond. 22.
22 will hit, and
it was on 6, and then it like slowly moved on to 16. I'm like, okay, fine.
Oh, that's great. As it rolls to the side, I'm now narrating the dice roll.
It's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, as you approach the 5-foot distance gap between you and that kobold, how would you like to do this?
I'm just gonna go up to him and try and hit him in the gut.
As you go up to him, his hands against the back wall, scared, you clench your fist and crack him center gut. And as his gasp for breath, you see a little bit of lunch comes up, some type of fish-like substance, as he
even worse.
falls to the floor, somewhat unconscious. And as you were there, you are staring at this unconscious two kobolds on the floor as you have settled the danger for now.
Hooray.
You're in this alleyway. These two kobolds came down here trying to look for an escape of something, but who knows what that could have been. They could have gotten lost. And as you are now with these two individuals, what would you like to do with them?
Can I just like pick both of them up by like their neck and like the back of their necks and drag them back out into the street where Captain Goldpaw was?
As you grab both of them by their necks and drag them through like a judicator through the alleyway, you see Captain Goldpaw finally reach the end of the entrance where you came from, just connecting to the city street. And as you are emerging from this shadowed area, you have both of them in hands as Captain Goldpaw looks at you. You see there is a wince to his step, but he is still standing as he looks and goes, "Nice catch."
They seem to be trying to find something in that alleyway.
I wouldn't doubt if it's a secret tunnel. These rats like to scurry. Well then,
Wouldn't be a bad idea to have somebody check that.
we'll have some enforcers in the back, but I'll make tally of it. Have someone come look at it later.
Yep.
Now, the question these two. As Captain Goldpaw searches their body, removes the dagger from the one that tried to run, and then takes their belongings. They each had coin pouches and a small, not tattoo, but like emblem that was attached to their piece of clothing. The emblem. Yes?
I'm sorry. Do I recognize the emblem?
Make a religion check.
It should be easier to find. It's in alphabetical order. 16.
With a 16, you stare at this emblem, and you know that it's not a pantheon towards any gods. This is a new thing. The symbol on it is a withered up tree with a long, dangling humanoid perched upon it. You've never seen this symbol and never heard of any gods that even come close to this symbol.
This symbol screams hag at me.
As you mention this to...
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that to Goldpaw.
As you say this, he takes a closer look. And this is nothing from trouble. Because that means they're organizing.
That is a problem.
Alright. We're gonna drop these two off at the detention center. Get everything sorted, interrogate. And we gotta get back on the trail for the two fairies. If they have the royal family of the fairy kingdom, this is a lot more dire than I'd like it to be. As he drags off the two goblins and you guys move through the open crowd again. Make me one perception check, please.
Okay. Let's see if it gets any better. Hey, it does. 21.
Very nice. As you walk along behind Captain Goldpaw with these two in hand, as you walk by, you feel the sun hit you in an angle that doesn't make sense. The sun is high in the sky, but you feel a warmth on the right side of your face. As you turn and look, you see an alleyway that leads to this strange looking building off in the distance. as you start walking over unconsciously for a little bit before Captain Golpaw grabs you by the shoulders. Hey, you okay?
I think I might have found something.
One sec. You hear him whistle out with his two claws in his mouth, and as you see a couple of enforcers barely catching up, you see a Goldpaw hands over the two kobolds to them, gives them instructions to take them to the brig. And then he follows you. You walk through these different types of shops, buildings, and homes before you come to a clearing where you see this massive building forest. It looks like physical trees themselves, and upon a more closer inspection, you see that the darkness that would represent walking into a forest-like area are simply glass panes, and these wooden walls are the actual structures of this building. Looking more to the right, you see a very distinguished door that can be used to walk in. What do you...
If they're going to be anywhere, they're going to be here.
I've never actually been to this place. This should be interesting. As
I
you
would like to
walk in,
inside.
the revolving door of this black pane gives the representation. As you walk through, you see the massive tree-like illusion to your right and left. Before you step inside and see this ornated, like, interior tavern, you've never seen anything this immaculate before. I can pull up a reference for everyone to see. Stream. Go. I did not download it, so I'm gonna have to go by manual. Give me a sec, chat, while I get this done. There. And now for the stream. You guys can see. The live stream. That did not change.
No, it didn't.
There we go. It's changed on stream, and now to change it,
There
you
it
guys
goes.
can see on. Oh, if you see it on the stream, that works. Gotta return on your icons for this one. Haha.
Welcome to scenes.
Here we go. New to the streaming thing, so it works. As you enter inside, you are greeted with an immaculate open tavern. A bunch of different types of fey-like creatures. You've never seen so many gathered in one place before. You know some of them move throughout the city, but this is a gathering. You hear music playing on stage as you see these different types of creatures all around in different locations chattering comfortably. At the front desk, you see a vacancy where someone would usually greet you, as on the right-hand side, you see cooks, different types of satyrs and beast folk. And as you enter in and Goldpaw enters behind you, slightly taller, you see as you finally caught the attention of the denizens within. And as they all turn to you, you see one individual of what seems to be a fire-like body, humanoid in stature, but hair burning aloft of blue flame.
It seems dangerous.
She's wearing common clothing of that of a maid. And as she approaches slowly, you see this nervousness on her face as she comes up and then gives a small bow Hi. Uh, my name is Yayin. I am a head maid here at the woods. Is there something we can help the enforcers?
I believe we're looking for two Fae. They may have come in here bruised and bloodied.
Specifically fairies. They were supposed to be greeted appropriately by the noble kind, but some mishap happened, and they were not sent to the right destination. We simply came here not only to apologize, but to retrieve them and make sure they are safe. Upon saying this, you see that a couple of denizens become weary. They're clamming up. The music dies to a low, dull sound in the background. Before you hear in the background coming from the second floor stairs. Well, isn't this interesting? You hear the heavy footfalls come down as you see this silver-scaled, like dragonborn creature. Seems to have a wine bottle in his left hand, or not even a wine bottle, it's more of just a wooden gourd. As you see him barely coming down the stairs, feel free to make me an insight check.
Sure. 17.
With the 17, as you see this dragonborn coming downstairs, his clothing gives off as like a dirty manager. It's those like uniforms that he has a managerial position, but it's like stained, not well kept together. But as he's stepping down the stairs, you see his demeanor of this authoritarian like figure. So you get the idea that he probably is some type of owner of this establishment, if not assistant owner. And then as you see him approach from the left-hand side coming down the green rug, your eyes then glance over to Captain Goldmane, where you see a slightly shocked expression on his face, and in a confusion in his posture of what position he should take. And before he can speak up, you hear this Dragonborn speak again. Theodore Windstride, how may I help you in our lovely establishment here in the woods?
As I said to your patrons, we're looking for a pair of fairies that may have come in here.
Huh. He looks you up and down. You're a religious one, are you not?
Yes, I serve Palor.
Hey, God of sunshine and rainbows. He's a good guy, so at least you have someone to vouch for you. And you, I can only assume, are the legendary Captain Goldpaw? You see, as the Leonin captain who was always stoic, have a somewhat jaw drop, but not completely, and he clams up, does this like dry swallow. Right, I am Captain Goldpaw of the ruling enforcers. Right. So, you two are looking for just 2 fairies? Not 10, not 20, just 2.
Correct. They should have come together. They may have been bruised and battered from a fight.
They were supposed to be teleported inside the noble kingdom and protection of the elven royal family that we have in charge, the Ramirez. Well then, good luck. You see him chuckle to himself, and you do see a couple of fairy-like denizens, very small, about action figure heights, as they are just like flying from side to side. You see a few of them at a couple of tables snacking on some sweetened strawberry cakes and sweets. And there are a lot of them. Yeah, you see, Here in the woods, this Dragonborn speaks up again. All Fae are welcomed. And with that in mind, the lot of Fae here.
Hmm.
You're looking for 2 individuals that you failed to protect, it sounds like. Correct me if I'm wrong at any point. And you simply wish for me to just tell them, hey, you know, even though you've gone through a bad time once before, from... What did you say attacked them again?
We believe it was kobolds.
And just kobolds.
From what we can tell, only kobolds so far.
That is correct. We heard that these kobolds even attacked one of our own noblemen that was out and about. He said he tried to help them, but we don't know what the initial look like, and we're still trying to gather all the evidence together. Uh-huh. So, you want these fairies to then come with you and join you in the Noble Ring area so they can just be there? From what I understand, they were called here by the royal family so that they can study the history, religion, and culture of this area. I do believe that one of them, I know she said it in here. I want to re-say it correctly. It's
Oleander, I believe.
Leander, yeah. A Miss Oleander, who is going to be joining the university through the royal households. Oh, interesting. And what would 2 normal fairies have to do with noble households? We would rather, if they felt comfortable, let them explain, but in the meantime, we're simply looking for them. You see this Dragonborn take a seat next to you guys, prop his legs up on these tables are of tree trunks in base nature. Solid in form, and these wooden chairs around them, maculated with backs, vines, and whatnot, so as he kicks his feet up on one of them, takes a swig from his gourd. Well, pass along the news if we find them, and let them decide where they want to go. I understand. As long as they're safe here, we'll let them decide. Let them know if they come to the front, we will have some enforcers waiting at the end of the alleyway. If they wish to be left alone, they can simply send them away themselves.
We would like to know that they're safe, though.
You see this Dragonborn leaning back. Safer than they were a few hours ago.
Well, thank you for the information. Also, can I have his last name again? I forgot.
Windstride. And you are?
Durant Goldweaver.
Goldweaver. If I remember correctly, there was a other holy warrior from the Pelor Temple with the last name of Goldweaver. If I remember his name correctly. Looking through the notes. I think it was a Tiberius Goldweaver. You know this
Yes,
to
that
be...
was my father.
Yep. Ah. Guess to start by saying sorry for your loss recently.
Thank you.
Hopefully you shine just as bright as he did. He was a good warrior.
It was.
Hold your head pride, boy. You follow in his footsteps, protect those that need protecting. Be a light in the darkness, and you'll be fine. In the meantime, feel free to stick around and have some We got some sweets, some meats, and some wine. Unless you're on the clock.
Unfortunately, we are on the clock.
You see Captain Goldpaw also bow. Indeed. And in fact, we probably should be heading back. We have a few that we have captured, and we're going to get some information from. Be able to settle this incident.
We're sorry to have disturbed you. Have a good day, sir.
Have a good day. He tips the gourd to you and takes another swig. As you and Captain Goldpaw exits the sliding doors again, you see the approach of an interesting elven individual with a nice ordained clothing with a, well, what are you carrying on you, Umbra? Or should I say Una?
I have my quarterstaff with me. And with me right now, I probably have a couple empty bottles tied on a string around my hips.
A little satchel to carry some things in, or will you carry a backpack?
A little satchel.
You see this elven individual come forward down this alleyway as you guys exit the doors. Captain Goldpaw stands to the side. Madam, as he gives a slight bow.
I will also move out of the way as to not block her path.
Sorry, did you say that I'm coming towards the tavern or away from the tavern?
You're coming towards.
Okay, then I will continue on my way. But I will take note that there was an enforcer and presumably
He
a
is
paladin
wearing... Yeah, he's wearing heavy armor just like them. However, the symbol on his chest is that of the sun. Feel free to make a religion check if you can identify on your way in.
3.
It's a nice symbol, but in the moment you have more pressing matters.
My dice rolls are rubbing off on you, Umbra. Run away. Take my curse.
As you see this elven individual enter in through the door you guys just left, Captain Goldpaw walks down the alleyway. You follow close behind.
Yes.
And as you do, he then turns over his shoulder to you. Durant, I'm gonna ask for something special of you.
Okay.
If you can, keep an eye on this place. Protect it and the people here. I didn't realize
Seems like a nice place.
that man would be doing something this great.
Seems like a nice place to protect.
Indeed. I'll compensate you for your weekly checkups of this area, and if you do happen to find the 2 fairies we were looking for, simply let them know that we do apologize. And if they wish, we can house them at the noble-esque upper ring. But if they wish to be here and they need to contact us at all, that they can do it through you.
Yes, I will do so.
I'm gonna go have some fun with some kobolds.
Yeah, have fun with that. I'm gonna go get healed up. They did a decent number on me.
Tell me about it. And you see the shield on his back as he finally walks from you. There's a scuff mark from the back of the vehicle that hit him, but he's still walking with a pride to him to not show the damage he actually taken amongst the citizens as they all step aside and wave, and some children's, geez, no. Some children's walks by, shakes his hand that he allows them to. Their small hand fits one of his clawed fingers. And as he walks off in the distance, you go off to a nearby clinic to get some healing, or you can heal it yourself if you have some lay on hands.
I only have 5 points of it, and it's not enough to heal me all the way, so...
You head off to the nearby clinic in the area, which It's going to be interesting. You didn't spend much time here on the southwestern part of the city, so since it sounds like you're going to be here more often, I guess it's time to look around.
Sure. So do I know where the clinic is, or am I looking around for one?
You know where a clinic is on the northern part of the city next to your temple, and you can even go to the
Okay.
temple. There's plenty of clerics there that could heal you. Or you can explore this area in the meantime, because it sounds like you might be around here keeping an eye on the place for protection.
Can I see what shops are around here? And you said this was the south.
This is the southwest.
Okay. Okay.
I
Sure.
will get-
Can I look around and see what types of stores there are?
Absolutely. I will give you more immaculate details by the time we get to our session 1.
Cool.
But for now, as you head off and explore the city, you zoom back in on the elven individual known as Una, entering inside the denizens of the woods. She enters inside. You see immediately what you are recognized with, Una, as Theo, the owner of the establishment, along with the Janashi head maid, a very timid but very lovable elemental Janasi, who's also been a long-time denizen of the wood. As she turns to you and sees you enter, "Oh, Una, I'm glad you're here. Raftalia told me you're on the way."
Is everything okay? I saw enforcers outside.
And you see Theo. You know Theo to be, even though he is a owner of this establishment, and he does take that job seriously, especially for the last 90 years you've been visiting this place. He prides himself on keeping the denizens of the woods safe. He's a little bit of a lazy butt when he chooses to be. And since you don't see Carla around, the high elf assistant manager who usually keeps him in check, it seems that he is more in a relaxed like nature as he turns to you. "Una, welcome to the woods."
Hey, Theo. Can I roll an insight check?
Make an
I'm not
insight check.
convinced he's a silver dragonborn.
Make an insight check.
What?
Dirty 20. Is he actually platinum?
With the dirty 20, you have been pondering this question for the many times you have come here. And looking at his silver-esque-like reflective scales, you've come accustomed to looking past what's on the surface layer with him. And you see a type of shine that resembles a little more of platinum stature.
Knew it. Okay.
As he looks over to you, "I want to thank you for the potion you gave Raftalia. It helped the other one. If I remember correctly, her name is..." And you hear the slamming of a door near the kitchen as you see Carla coming in through the side door with a bunch of groceries she's dropping off to the head chef. "Delphi. Her name is Delphi. His name is Timothy. And you need to get your feet off the table." And he's just like, "Right." And he kicks his feet off of the wooden table and gets into a more sitting position. "Una, nice to meet you." You know her as Carla. Carla Giovanna. A high
Nice
elf
to meet you as
that
well.
is currently the accountant, tavern, assistant manager, owner, and pretty much just runs the establishment with Theo giving ideas.
Okay. Nice to meet you as well. Where are they? Do they need any more healing?
With the potions and everything, we can take the medical herbs and give them to you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Of course.
They're currently resting up in the upper rooms. As for the enforcers, well, they were here for just such an occasion. Turns out that these
Ooh.
ones were supposed to, you know, not be greeted by a couple of lizards trying to stab their throats. Oh,
Ew.
they're tough though. Took care of those creatures by themselves, and they seem to have a lot of life in them. Even though they almost lost it. You see Clara like chuck a wooden spoon from across the room, and with the 19 will hit. You just see him getting thwacked with a wooden spoon off the head. Ow! Anyway, if you want to get to work, we have the alchemical set on the side. If you want to start making some potions, we'll compensate you for it and appreciate your help nonetheless.
Yeah, no problem. I also can cure them if you need to. I have do have that capability.
That would probably work even better if you can. She will guide you to the upper floors. I will only ask, there's no mandatory, but Delphi, do you want to be introduced in this? Wounds are the deadliest weapons of all. Yes, that we can agree on. For the meantime, though, as you head up the stairs to the second floor, you enter in this room where you see a lovely blue-haired individual along with a shortened blonde-haired individual. Both adults humanoid size with wings, each immaculated, and you see a slightly busted up violin that's is trying to get worked on. As you enter in the room with Carla after knocking and entering, you see these two individuals, one somewhat better, the male individual, and the female individual is more hurt, but still holding on.
Give me just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving Sass an update. She had to step away from him for a minute.
Absolutely. In the meantime, I will do the one thing I forgot to do for this page and make a chat box so you guys can see the conversations that's going on in the background.
So, looking at them both, which one is more injured?
Delphi would be.
And this is after Timothy got the healing potion, right?
Yes. Timothy already
Okay.
received the healing potion, so he is at full hit points.
Okay, then I will head over to her and prepare to cast Cure Wounds on her.
As you approach this fairy lady, she looks upon you and Clara as, or Carla. I'm gonna get that so confused with my dyslexia. It's gonna be great. It's Carla, C-A-R-L-A. As Carla looks over, Delphi, Timothy, this is our longtime Patreon and our go-to herbalist and alchemist, Una Faxis? This is me out of game. How do you pronounce that?
Practice.
Faxis. This is Una Faxis. She will be healing you to help out. You see, as Delphi not fully engaged, but still nods and looks at you, letting you approach to heal.
She said, I'm Una.
You see her nod, not really speaking, just holding back, and you see they have gone through something. past few hours, like Theo said. In the background, you most absolutely join in if you want. So this is just your conversation with Una, as this after the last zero session for a background for the rest of you. Delphi and Timothy were attacked by some kobolds as they came to the Platinum Star City. They were found by Theo, brought here, and Timothy was given a healing potion which got him to full hit points. Delphi was still injured from the kobolds, so now this healer, long story short, has come to help assist. She has introduced herself as Una Vaxis, and the accountant that you met yesterday as Carla vouches for her to be a good healer as well. So at any point you want to jump in, you are more than welcome to, just having a conversation with the elven individual you have met for the first time.
Hold on. Here we go. I say weekly like hello to Una.
Hey, let's get you all healed up. And then I'll cast Cure Wounds on her.
All right. As you approach, and what does your magic look like, being of elven but also Fey descendant?
It looks very... Sorry, hold on, what did I just do? Not telling me what I rolled for the healing. Oh, I just marked it as cast. I didn't roll yet.
Yeah.
I heal you for 10 hit points. It looked like kind of different shades of green, like it almost forms vines with leaves as it like leaves my wand, but very smoky. So not like solid.
As this magic emanates forward, Delphi, you feel and you know the magic of the Fae. She is also not only a Fae descendant, but that calmness and familiar helps ease the pain as well as the magic flows through you, healing you completely back to full. The scars and the slashes that these kobolds did completely vanish, not leaving even a faded mark.
That feels so much better. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Well, I'm glad we were able to help you out in the end, as Carla speaks up. I'm gonna go talk to Theo. He actually got news from an enforcer that came in not a few minutes ago. They were looking for you two.
Oh, really?
You hear the heavy footsteps, not trying to be silent, but also trying to be respectful, as leaning outside the door, not looking in, you hear Theo's voice once again. Yeah, Captain Goldpaw. I can tell you for a fact that he's a good person, one for justice, the law. He wouldn't lie about this. However, you guys happened to teleport outside of the noble capital was a sabotage. If you so wish, they would be willing to house you. Even though I cannot know which noble in particular did this to you. They themselves don't know a noble did this.
Don't worry about the noble, it's getting handled.
You see the group of them, Carla and Theo, look over to you. What do you mean? Carla says.
It's not my place to tell, but it's being handled.
Curious look befalls both of them. Well, if he's brought to justice, that's all I care about. You see Theo stands, heads over to the balcony, leaning over, looking among the denizens of the woods, laughing again, eating their sweets, and listening to the music in the background. This place was created to be a safe haven. I intended to keep it that way. But if you so wish, you can be housed here, very familiar woods. Or, if you truly wish to continue that noble lifehold, I do hear their cook chef has more higher ingredients.
Am I supposed to choose?
Well, it's basically just where you would like to be for this next year before we get to session 1. Would you like to stay in the woods in the upper rooms with Timothy next door, and basically this will be your living home? Or do you want to take your stay up to the noble household where you would be more elegantly and nobly treated? So basically return to a castle-like structure, or have this essential true freedom of just being whoever you want to be.
I think I would like to go stay with the nobles. Just to make my studies a little bit easier and to really learn the culture here, like I'm supposed to.
All right. But just to let you know, the woods also always welcome you.
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate that. And I'll visit often, of course, because Timothy will be here.
Yes, Timothy speaks up. Absolutely. I will be here performing to my heart's desire. See him wink over at Theo as he turns. All right, then. The musician for the woods is going to be a fun, fascinating background. Well, then. Once again, Una, thank you for stopping by.
Of course. And I'll turn to the 2 fairies and I'll hand out my business card and say, if you need flowers or potions or extras, come visit me.
Thank you, Miss Vaxis.
Oh, please, just call me Una.
Thank you, Una.
Of course, of course. I'll head back down to the tavern.
As you head back down, are you wanting to have a afternoon lunch at this establishment, or are you going to be returning back to your flower shop?
What time am I expecting Elion to get back home?
She usually works until close to 6 to 5 dinner time.
And how long have I been here?
About 30 minutes.
From the time I left, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll grab a meal to go, and then I'll head back to the shop so I can open it back up again.
You head back down. They have assortments of either different types of sandwiches, meals, these intricate cheese twists, and meats, along with pastas of different assortment of sizes. Those that can feed a simple fairy, or those that can feed a dragonborn. What are you interested in taking home today?
She'll just grab a sandwich.
Be a simple 8 silver.
Okay.
You hand over the coins. They chef in the back, you see him. The head chef that works here is a rabbit beast folk. So everyone simply calls him Ellie, short for Elliot. And he's just back there, and you see his magic within him helps him pair off. You see this floppy-eared, grayish fur, but you see there are patches on him of a red, black, blue. And as you see, as he's getting ready to chop the salad, one of the patches on his back, the black, separate from him, making this semi-translucent black rabbit that goes over and starts cutting up the different types of deli meats. As another patch of blue comes out and makes this blue rabbit that goes into another corner and starts packing up the necessary ingredients to put in the sandwich. And as each ingredient comes together, you see the patches then blend back into this singular rabbit folk, as he then, or Harrigan as they're called, as he then puts it all up and ties a nice little bow on top of the lunch pouch as he hands it over to you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Feel free to come back again.
So you have a good day. I'll see you on Friday.
Yep, can't wait. As you head back to the open city, the sunlight shining. This is gonna be an interesting year for everyone. But nonetheless, it's the start of a great journey that is about to be told. As we're gonna end today's episode. This has been the introductions to each characters, as there will be a year time skip to simply let the characters in-game learn about their surrounding elements, gather some information about the world they are now part of. But nonetheless, this journey has been one that is only the start of something that can be absolutely amazing. As a reminder to the viewers and my players, there will be an end credit scene of what is going on in the world in the background. If you do not wish to be spoiled, you can simply not tune in. But if you wish to know what is going on, feel free to stick around by the end of this, and that is pretty much how I'm going to be closing every session for the stream and for this adventure we're going to be on. For as our party adventurers continue moving forward, so does the world around them. So in the meantime, I hope y'all had a fun time with this Zero session. I believe I named this session Sun and Bloom. Hopefully it goes well. And I guess we will be seeing y'all the next episode. as the two kobolds come to consciousness in a very darkened room, hands tied behind these small wooden chairs. Look left and right, bound in darkness, before a single magical light ignites from the center as a very tall, very angry Leonin stares down at them. You have some explaining to do. They both begin to sweat. Fear. As the low growl of this lion circles behind them, as they can't turn their heads to look behind. Here's how this is going to go. You will answer my questions honestly. And if I even feel that you guys are holding information, well, I won't do anything. My compatriots, I can't say the same. The sound of small cackling enters in from the dark corridor. From the shadow, the dark black eyes appear, shortened snouts, the gray and black fur. This hyena-like beast folk, scarred and immaculated with different stains of dried blood on his robe, simply cackling in the corner. As the lion steps behind both kobolds, his paws easily able to snap the necks of both of them, as the hand goes around each of their throats from the back, their claw stringing across the neck. I need to know which nobleman tried to cross a line against the royal family. It wasn't us. We got hired. All right. We don't know which family it was. As it was just said, the kobolds vanishes into the background as the sudden lurch. This hyena-like creature snags the chair in the kobolds, dragging him into the darkness. The other kobolds simply having to hear the dissonant screams. Captain Goldpaw unflinching, unwavering, looking down at the last kobold in the lights, as the screams and the sounds of bone crunching in the distance, and the ever cackling. I'm not gonna ask again. It was the Durant family. Someone from the Durant family. They are the ones that did it. They hired us. They told us we were simply gonna kidnap them and then take them. Take them where? To this new order. This new order that's there. Something about serving the old ones. The ones beyond the city. This low lion growl like a predator ready to pounce on its prey. Well then, I guess the hags are on the move. As he steps away from this character, opens the door, and closes it behind him. the single beating lights as the kobold is restrained. And as he's heavy breathing, it's overtaken by the sounds of laughter. Claws reach from the darkness shadows from behind, covering the mouth as this kobold wells up in tears. And from the darkness, the shining reflective lights of teeth growing, saliva falling, and blood dripping. As we zoom out of the room, staring down the door hallway, as the sounds of screaming and bone crunching, slopping hits of pool of some ichor hit the floor. And as our Leonin individual marches out to go pay a royal family a nice